This is my setup for the mystery chemical experiment, the mystery white powder experiment. I have each little individual medicine cup labeled 1 through 4. Notice those on that. In the prep, I've got what mystery chemical is going to go into each cup. I have a station of chemical spoons, I'm calling them. They're just little cut up pieces of note card that they'll be able to use to take from the original sample and put into the reaction plates. Then I've got acid, which I'm going to use vinegar mixed with a little bit of 6 molar hydrochloric acid to be strong enough to make sure that there's a reaction, but not strong enough as to melt anybody's skin off. Hand lenses for structure, water, and universal indicator. And I've got those in order from when I'm going to introduce each to the students. All right, this is everything loaded. This is what the students see. Don't need much. We're just gonna put a few drops in to each. And that's that. That's the setup of the lab for the mystery chemicals. Okay, the first thing that you are going to get is safety gear.
Yay.
Because
I love
accidents
safety.
can happen when collecting materials. You want your eyes covered. Goggles must remain on this entire class period.
Did we get gloves?
No gloves today. Nothing that caustic. But goggles are going to do 2 things. 1, they're going to prevent any splash, and 2, I'm hoping they're going to prevent you from rubbing your eyes, because if you get something on your hands and then you rub your eyes, now we got to go to the nurse. So here's how this is set up. You are going to need 1 reaction plate.
Okay.
All right, it's like that. It's a 4x3 plate. Julian, I really don't want to repeat myself. Thank you. You are going to get 1 sample of each numbered cup.
I see.
You're going to get 4, I'm calling them chemical spoons. What are they? You know, they're real expensive. They are,
Paper.
okay, they're literally I just cut up a note card. Okay, so it's this little flimsy kind of piece of paper. What I recommend doing is you fold it in half, then you fold just the bottom edge in half, and it makes this little spoon guy. Okay, you're gonna take that little spoon guy, and you are going to grab a little bit of the sample and pour it into one of the indents. Okay, and I just did that wrong. You're welcome to show you. No, I did that right. Sorry. You're gonna do just enough to fill in for the acid test and the hand lens. Okay? That's all we're going for right now. So I've got that spoon is going to be number 1, and then I'm gonna have a different spoon for each one of my chemicals. Why do I need a different spoon for each one of my chemicals?
So they don't get mixed up?
Thank you for quietly raising your hand, Ryder. Yes.
So you don't mix up the material with other ones, because like maybe you
Right. If there's a little bit of powder left on my spoon, and then I dig into the next powder, it's very possible that I'm going to contaminate my specimen. So I don't want to do that. I also want to make sure that in the reaction plate, I'm not mixing chemicals, or else I might get the wrong results. So, got a couple of spoons. I load up my reaction plate.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're very unsure of your loading, you can choose to only load 1 at a time. That's perfectly acceptable as well. Okay, now I've got them all loaded. I'm leaving my spoons in my chemical samples. That way they don't get mixed up. And now I gotta do my acid test. So, I've got my cup of acid, got my dropper. I gotta make sure that my dropper has the same label as the cup, right? It says acid on the side. It's got the orange, with the orange cup. Doing everything to make this as obvious as possible. I'm only gonna add acid to one chemical spot, all right? I've loaded 2 chemical spots because I wanna look at one with the hand lens that's dry, and then I wanna look at the reaction for the acid test. So I'm gonna do this one at a time, right? I'm gonna add the acid to sample number 1. I add 3, maybe 4 drops. I put the excess back in the acid, put that cup aside, make sure I'm not gonna bump it with my elbow or something. And I take a look at what's happening. What was the result? What were the possible answers for the mineral test?
Absorb, bubble, and nothing.
Yeah. What were the options?
Absorb, bubble, and nothing.
Absorb, bubble, and nothing, right? So when I look at this, well, the acid kind of, well, it didn't really do anything. Did nothing, right? Your options are gonna be the same as before. You're looking for bubbles, whether it just like soaks up or whether it just kind of sits there, right? Write down your results on your chart. Number 1, Mr. Rugo didn't see it do anything. You gotta check your own results, right? Go down, do number 2, write what happened. Number 3, write what happened. Number 4, write what happened. Then I'm gonna take my hand lens and I'm gonna examine the specimen really close, give it the picture, right? Draw what it looks like. Well, this looks like a cube. Oh, that looks like a hexagon. Oh, that one looks crazy. That one looks like staircases. Whatever it is, okay? If you can't tell, what do?
Raise your hand.
Mr. Ringo, can you help me? I'll be happy to come over and help you out.